He is back. He's decided that he's not going to hold it at Doral. He blames it on, quote, the hostile media and their Democratic partners. But again, he was getting hammered by Republicans. So why did he cave?
We talked about it at great length last night. And it's not lost on me that if we had made the decision on Thursday, we wouldn't have had the press conference on Thursday regarding everything else. But that's fine. But we did talk about it last night. And I honestly think what you saw in the tweet was real. The president isn't one for holding back his feelings and his emotions about something. He was honestly surprised at the level of pushback. At the end of the day, he still considers himself to be in the hospitality business. And he saw an opportunity to take the biggest leaders from around the world, and he wanted to put on the absolute best show, the best visit that he possibly could, and he was very comfortable doing that at Doral. And I think we were all surprised at the level of pushback. I think it's the right decision to change. We'll have to find someplace else, and my guess is we'll find someplace else that the media won't like either for another reason.
I just have to pick up. You say he considers himself in the hospitality business. He's the president of the United States.
Yeah. But that's his background. It's like, I used to be in the real estate business. I don't know what you used to do before you were in media, if
Nothing.
anything.
That's all I've ever done.
But he wanted to put on a show. He wanted to take care of folks. That's the business. He's in the hotel business, or at least he was.
Does he understand?
He was the president.
Forget the media, and does he understand that it looked lousy?
Well, I think he knows. He thinks that people think it looks lousy. Could we have put on an excellent G7 at Doral? Absolutely. Will we end up putting on an excellent G7 someplace else? Yes, we will.
This is Trump's chief of staff, Mick Mulvaney, and during the humiliation of having to walk back his breathless defense of Trump hosting the next G7 at his own resort in Miami. He says right off the bat that the president was honestly surprised at the level of pushback, which is pretty astounding considering just a few days ago, when Mulvaney himself announced the decision, he said outright that the administration fully expected pushback and that was just a risk they were willing to take.
We know the environment we live in. You all know the environment that we live in, and he knows exactly that he's going to get these questions and exactly get that reaction from a lot of people, and he's simply saying, okay, that's fine, I'm willing to take that. The same way he takes it when he goes to Trump Mar-a-Lago, the same place when he goes to play Trump Bedminster. He got over that a long time ago. We absolutely believe this is the best place to have it. We're going to have it there, and there's going to be folks who will never get over the fact that it's a Trump property. We get that, but we're still going to go there.
Now, I don't know what's going on behind closed doors at the White House, although a safe bet is usually crime, but I'd venture to guess that the reason isn't so much the pushback, considering the White House deals with pushback every single day for Trump's horrific actions, but rather the fact that it is as clear a violation of the Emoluments Clause of the Constitution as you can get. And at a time when Trump is already facing impeachment for a slew of other high crimes and misdemeanors, for him to self-deal so blatantly is alone worthy of articles of impeachment. The Emoluments Clause prohibits the president from accepting profits, gains, or advantages from foreign and domestic governments, and Trump giving himself a no-bid contract to literally accept business from foreign governments, 6 foreign governments to be exact, is as obvious a violation of this clause as is humanly possible. And that's including Trump's self-dealing with regard to the foreign diplomats at Trump International Hotel in D.C., and military layovers at Turnberry, and Pence's weekends at Doonbeg, and golf cart rentals at Bedminster, and weekly vacations at Mar-a-Lago. Anyway, so glad Trump made the decision not to violate the Emoluments Clause anymore. Mulvaney goes on to say that at the end of the day, Trump still views himself to be in the hospitality business. Not like we'd want the President of the United States to view himself to be in the business of, I don't know, governing. In a way, Mulvaney gave the entire game away, because Trump does view himself in the same job he's always had, the goal of which is, and always was, to enrich himself. He doesn't view himself as the president first, he views himself as the CEO of his company, and his sole job is to pad his bottom line, which we've seen over and over, from giving himself a tax cut that'll likely save him $15 million a year, to amending the estate tax, which will likely save his kids $4.5 million, to promoting his properties every chance he gets, to charging the Secret Service for golf carts, to his latest attempt to award his property a no-bid contract to host heads of state from 6 of the most powerful countries in the world. He is out to help himself and his family and his business, and he's using his office as president to do just that. But the most lasting effect of this whole G7 debacle is that Mulvaney got to show the entire world just how much of a partisan hack he is for defending something so egregiously indefensible, all for nothing. The extent to which he has sold out and contracted all of his dignity to Trump is just stunning. I mean, the guy was defending Trump for violating the Constitution in broad daylight, an offense so egregious that even Republicans came out against it. And yet that's exactly what Trump looks for in his cabinet officials, a mindless yes man, a goon who's willing to humiliate humiliate himself to no end to defend Trump's corruption, to take a bullet or 2 or 10 until the president finally has no need for him anymore, and then he'll discard him like everyone else. For Mulvaney to have seen what Trump's done to Tillerson and Sessions and Scaramucci and just recently Bolton, and still think Trump won't just steamroll right over him when the time is right, would be remarkable if it wasn't so pathetic. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Mick Mulvaney is the one who Trump actually cares about and who's actually special and who Trump would never fire over Twitter the second he doesn't need him anymore. Yup, something tells me this one's different. Now, while we've come to expect such brazen corruption from Trump, it's almost worse to see him being emboldened by people like Mulvaney who should know better. And while Trump has made sure that he'll always be remembered in the history books as the most corrupt president in American history, Mulvaney's making sure that his photo is right alongside Trump's.